Hello and welcome to Medieval Dynasty. Well, it's still spring. We do have a new farmer, so he's still working on this. I mean, we only recruited him this season, so he's been working for about a day, and so far he's managed to put all of the flax seeds into this field. He's doing the fertiliser to finish off this part by the looks of it. I'm a bit puzzled about that, I must admit. It's showing 20 out of 20. Yeah, there's nothing actually planted, because that down at the bottom is usually the plan, was what you want putting into the field. Then up top is how much of those are actually planted, and I'm not seeing anything planted over here. So that's got me puzzled according to that. I mean, we have harvested some rye, which incidentally I should actually thrash so we can get the grain back again, because we'll need that to be planted in another season. I mean, I'm not going to micromanage these farms where we're actually changing, things from one season to another. It's too much hassle. Actually, there is one thing I do need to double check though, is the herbal store. Because, well, I suppose it is spring. It's really in the summertime that she needs to be harvesting berries for us. So what's she doing and what's out of season? So yeah, so there's a lot of things she could have been doing, but I've got to assign the tasks which she can't do because they're out of season. So this is something I'm going to have to micromanage, because there's going to be things in here that you just can't harvest or gather because they're just not available that season. So she can get the broadleaf plantain. So that's something, I suppose. I don't think we've got any jugs for the healing potions, because I think the plan would be like get her to do gather all of this stuff, during the normal seasons, and when you get into the winter, to get those converted. But it looks like you need plenty of buckets of water plus plenty of these wooden vials. So is that in season? Okay, so we can get her to do that then. What about Deadly Nightshade? Is that in season? No. Henbane? No. What about Thistle? No. Dandelions. Yep, we can get some dandelions. Okay, we'll get her to focus on them then. Because those, I noticed those are used for the healing potions, which I think would be beneficial in particular. What about daisies? Yes, you can gather daisies and chicory. That's almost everything she can do. What about St. John's wort? So she can't, I mean, the berries are out of season. You've got to wait until spring. You can get unripe berries, but we really want normal berries. So I suppose she may as well just get us some of this broadleaf plantain, some of this St. John's wort, and then just gather all these sort of other items. But yeah, that's something I am going to have to micromanage. Anyway, I'm going to leave my farmer over there to get on with farming. But what I do want to do, just go make sure that that trap gets serviced first. Oh, right, I'm going to have to make another rabbit trap. But what I do want to do is actually build a house over here. And then I'm going to actually build a pigsty down here. So I'm going to have to do quite a bit of clearing. Because the plan is I really want a pigsty. I want to be breeding our own pigs. I want to be able to get manure from them as well. So we're right up to this point here. We've gone past pigs. We're almost at geese. But it's the pigs. I mean, I've kind of like jumped over hen houses. I don't particularly need them at the moment. Although, to be honest, if I did have somebody looking after them, I'd be getting the benefits of, extra XP out of the farming. So I've got a farmer getting me XP. Once we get a pigsty up and running, I'll be getting XP out of that animal breeder. So it's always an incentive, I suppose, to get all of these other things up and running, just to get that XP building up in the background. But yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of chopping down and digging up to get this house and pigsty built. And then we'll have to go and look for somebody to look after the pigs, as well as the actual pigs themselves. Well, it is getting late. We've managed to build our house over there. And I'm just about to finish up our pigsty. So there we go. So that's our pigsty now built. So the idea is we'll be able to keep pigs inside of here. Now the thing is, they'll wander all over the place. It doesn't really matter because they actually come back at the end of the day anyway. So they're quite eager. It's quite funny because they go out wandering around. And then sometimes they'll just sit down in the middle of the road somewhere and block traffic and what have you. But they're, I think the devs have made a change now where they've introduced gates. So we could potentially stop. It depends how clever these little beasties are. But if I pay 200 coins, I'll be able to unlock that schema to get gates. But I'll have to think about it because I need to buy pigs. And I need to pay the taxes. I still haven't done that. I mean, we owe 876 in taxes. Now, I do still have some spare flax left over, so I'm going to sell that off. Actually, I'm going to have a look and see how we're doing for arrows, for example. So I think that was something I wanted our smithy to make. I've got about 60 arrows we could sell off, so that's not too bad. I mean, it's better than nothing. I mean, at the minute, they're kind of just about keeping up with tools, because there's a lot of people who want different tools. The only thing I'm struggling with is the actual seed bags for the farmer, because we're into coming to the end of day 2, and I only just noticed that this hadn't been finished off, and I'm scratching my head thinking why, because there was nothing in the production system under here, for example, to highlight a problem until I went into the barn and I noticed there was nothing here. In other words, they'd actually ran out of simple bags. But anyway, we need to go and do a tour. I may as well stop at Gustovia anyway to see if I can get another farmer, because it's a farmer who looks after the animal breeders. And then we'll pay off our taxes, see what we can get out of the flax seeds and arrows as well. But it's a bit late, to be honest. I think I might hold back until tomorrow, leave it until the last day. At least I can get the taxes sorted out and the sell off the flax, because people will have gone to bed, which means I'll be travelling backwards and forwards again. So yeah, I think we'll just call it a day, go to sleep, then head over to Gustovia tomorrow. Well, there's nobody here that I want to recruit for farming, because I mean, if I go to that new building, the pigsty, it comes into animal husbandry. I've asked to assign a specific worker. It says you need a farming skill, but neither of these two have a level 3 farming skill, because we did recruit who was it? Edmund from here. But at least while I'm here, I'm going to talk to Edwin. I mean, I don't necessarily have to sell him this flax. I can sell it to anybody. But at 148, I mean, that's not too bad. We're getting 740, which is just about enough to cover the...
See you soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that's enough to cover our taxes. I mean, what I should be doing is building a much bigger field, like a 16 by 16 would be a lot better. But for now, I've just got a 10 by 10. So, yes, not surprisingly, I need to pay the taxes. So that leaves me about 1238. So I think I've got enough money there to pay for probably a piglet. Because it's a choice. You can buy the adults, or you can buy the babies. They're born in this, surprisingly, born in the spring. So you could just wait a year and then they'll reach adulthood. But even in adulthood, they still take a while. These pigs to start producing their own babies. So yeah, I mean, it can take a while, I must admit. Depends on whether you've got a lot of money. I mean, once we get much bigger fields, we'll be able to turn over a lot more flax. Once we get into marketing, we'll be able to sell all sorts of things. But while I'm here, I just want to have a quick check and see if there's anybody here we can recruit to take over this, or at least start this job as an animal breeder. Speaking of which, actually, I'm going to need some animal feed as well. So... yeah, nobody here either. Right, so we're going to have to do a bit of a circuit tour. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to end up in Rolnica anyway, because that's where I need to buy a piglet from. At least, because I think the 900, but we'll see. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do a bit of a tour around this way, see if we can find somebody. If not, we'll have to push out to Denica or maybe even Lesnica. So, I'm going to head out and see who we'll find. Well, that's unusual. I mean, I've made it all the way over to Rolnica. I still haven't been able to find anybody who's got farming skill 3. Now, these little piggies, wherever they are, yeah, little piglets, they're actually 1125, so a bit more expensive than I remembered. The actual male, 2250, you know, for a full-grown adult, sow, same 2250, so it's, you get, basically it's half price if you're willing to wait about a year. So it's not a showstopper that I don't have anybody to look after them. It'll be better because it just saves me having to then put the animal feed in, but I do get like little warnings pop up in the screen, like if the pigs aren't getting fed, for example. So I'm going to buy this one here. Should be a little female around here somewhere. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly, mate. So what I could probably do is, I mean, we're into the last day of spring. We've paid our taxes off. As you can see, that's all cleared out. So what I could do is really, I can wait until the summer when we get a lot more like flax seeds, because I've sold those off. Incidentally, I forgot to sell off the the arrows.
Hello there.
Hello. So again, it doesn't really matter who you sell, you know, what you sell to who. So we've got these 20 copper arrows that are left over from what we got from Alwyn's quest. I'm going to sell one of those off, then I'll sell these. So that gets another 224, so that's not too bad. So it'll keep things ticking over, because what I do need is some animal feed as well. But we'll be able to then make our own once we start getting the oats. We've already got the rye. Straw is pretty easy. It's the we've got to wait for the oats to get grown, and then we'll start to produce our own.
See you soon.
Yep. I'll be back for another pig probably next season. So we've got enough to buy this little one here. So we need to send this one over to our pigsty. So at this stage we can put up to 6 pigs. Oh, it's 5. I thought it was 6. We can put 5 pigs into this pigsty. So the idea for me is I'll be back here in the summer to get a female piglet, and then when they grow up next season, they'll actually then start to be able to breed at some point. It might take a while, but at least we'll then start getting the manure. But I do need to. I would prefer to find somebody else to look after them. So that just leaves me with a. Yeah, exactly. So that just leaves me with a small amount of coin left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a tour again. I'm going to pop over to Derniger, or Deniger. If needs be, I'll stop off there. I mean, we've got a bit of time still left of the day, so I might be able to even have to go as far as Jezerica or even Horniger at this rate. But as long as the farmer, where's our farmer up to? Because I need to make sure, that's the most important thing, is to make sure he's got everything done. So he's got all of the cabbage done, so he's now in the process of getting the oats done. So I might have to call time, because I've got to basically make sure our little piglet gets fed. So I might head over to, yeah, I might head over to Denica. Well, I think it makes more sense to probably call in there and then head back. So I'll head in that direction. We'll see if we can find anybody then. Well, in my travels, I didn't find anybody. I mean, I've been right the way through Gostovia, Borough, all the way up here, all the way down into Lesnica, all the way back through Denica, and there was nobody had a level 3 skill in farming. Now I'm going to have to make a bit of a dash to Gostovia, because I thought I actually had some oats, and it turns out I didn't. I did find some on my travels. Incidentally, I when I left Rolnica, I just followed this side of the lake here, and I actually found 8 animal feed, so that's a bit frustrating. I've spent all that money on animal feed and I found some anyway. So our little pig should be wandering around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. But I need to fill this trough up. So that'll keep him happy for a while anyway. But like I say, I mean, I came back here wondering why the fields still aren't finished, because we're missing the oats. There's only like 1 oat has been planted, and I'm thinking, well, what the heck happened there? And I just can't find any seeds, and I was convinced I actually had some. I wonder if I actually bought some oats and I just didn't thrash them. Let's have a look. So I found those, so I've just put those into the chest because I found those on my travels as well. So that's puzzling, that. If memory serves, I was going to buy oats as part of the chapter, and then I realised I actually needed wheat. So I think that's maybe where I forgot to get them. So I'm going to have to make a mad dash to Gostovia and see if I can get over there and back, because I'll probably have to plant them myself given the time. But at least now we've got ourselves a little pig. We've got one, so I think next season will tick over. Where we're going to have to rustle up some more money to get ourselves another piglet. I mean, we should get quite a bit of money out of this flax seed over here, because that's all ready to be well, it's ready to grow this season, and it'll be ready to harvest next season. So yeah, that's all for another episode.